Hello, friends from the comic book world. My name is Hector,
And my name is G.
and we are here to talk to you about the collected editions and graphic novels coming out June 2025. Now, G and I work for Penguin Random House, and we sell to the direct market around the world. So, the titles that you see on these videos are from the publishers that we represent into those markets. Also, note we're on social media. You can find us on Instagram, X, Twitter, Facebook, and of course YouTube under at PRH International Comics. And we will leave links in the description below for you to find us very quickly. And the way these videos work, this monthly videos work, is G and I will talk about a few of our picks. We'll pick some titles that are coming out in this case in the month of June and talk a little bit about them. And then we'll go through some more highlighted titles, some titles that we definitely think you should not miss from the month of June. But then we'll leave you with the rest of the list. You'll be able to see everything else that is programmed to go on sale during the month of June. As always, you might see some titles repeated from the previous month because there are shifting in schedules or delays sometimes. So beware of that. And without further ado, let's go to the first one, and I believe is my pick, Alien: Galaxy of Nightmares. This is by the amazing Philip Kennedy Johnson, illustrated by Salvador LaRocca and Julius Ota, and this cover by the amazing Gabriel Del Oro, which is such a classic. I mean, that's just an amazing Alien cover. This collection includes Alien 1 through 12 from 2021, Alien 1 through 6 from 2022, and Alien Annual from 2022, which is the original, the first Marvel, post Marvel, new era of Marvel Aliens. And I think Philip Kennedy Johnson did an amazing job. I think throughout the years, Alien has been, you know, in previous comics. It's been amazing. It's been great. I think it's a world that is has a lot to offer to authors to be able to create and grow. But especially Philip Kennedy Johnson, I think did an amazing job. I the hype after the first issues came out was so big. And this one, there's obviously because there's several collections here, there are several stories, and they go from colonies and surviving the aliens to sort of uh, uh, Operation Steel Team and trying to go against uh, the aliens in a backwater moon to United Systems soldiers coming to help a hostile planet. And it again, like I mentioned at the beginning, it sort of it did a very cool expansion of this universe, which is still going on right now with new runs, and now starting to do a little bit of crossovers with other characters and Marvel stories. So looking forward to that. And of course, we gotten new movies and since then, and we're getting a TV series, I believe, pretty soon. So there's a lot more coming for Alien, and I think if you haven't picked up Alien in a long time, if you're a fan and haven't or never read a comic, for those who have never read an Alien comic before, this is a great starting point, and I think it will not disappoint for sure. So there you go.
Next up, so completely different. We
Yeah.
have from 10 Speed Graphic, Castle Swimmer Volume 2. We have the Sharks, who unfortunately want Kappa dead. And we have this Prince Siren who is running out of time trying to save Kappa. In the meantime, we have a queen who knows that Prince Siren doesn't have the courage to kill Kappa, for the sake of the kingdom, and so she's willing to do everything that she can to do the deed. So there's tensions running high because of the situations, and alliances are being formed, and we have these like two mermen who is trying to like escape the situation that they're in. And Prince Siren would essentially do anything that he can to keep Kappa safe, even if it means never seeing him again, which is really sad if that were to happen. And so this graphic novel collects episodes 20 to 41 of the webtoon. It also includes a never before seen bonus chapter featuring the leads, Kappa and Prince Siren. And yeah, it's just this like story about these two mermen trying to reject the destinies that they don't want to fulfill. They embark on this like very unpredictable adventure with romance involved. So yes, volume two.
And we continue with DC versus Vampires World War V Volume 1. This is by Matthew Rosenberg and illustrated by Otto Schmidt. And this is one of my favorite uh, series in general of all time. He has become one of my favorites. But also as an Elseworld story, this is one of my favorite ones. And I love the original one, which was written by the amazing James Tynion the fourth, and also with with some help from Matthew Rosenberg, and then but then Matthew Rosenberg also wrote some of the spin-off titles, like there was Vampires, DC versus Vampires Killers, and it was a one shot, and then was no, sorry, it was a mini series. There was also DC versus Vampire Hunters, that was a one shot, and then there was DC versus Vampires All Out War #1, and these were all tying into the main story. The story of DC versus Vampires, it was really cool because I read it with the single issues as they were coming out, so I didn't get it spoiled as to who was turning into a vampire. Fortunately, here to this point, you already know that Barbara Gordon is a vampire, not just that, but also the queen of vampires. But I highly recommend reading the previous story to see how we get there. And of course, this one also, as you can see in the cover, is going to feature Green Arrow, who is leading the human resistance against the vampires, and also Damian Wayne, who, even though he's a vampire, he's also has his own guerrilla fighters. It's an amazing, epic story. It's so big and expands so much, and this new series that continues that world has done an amazing job of a really great job of continuing it in a great way, and I hope that we keep getting it. It's if you think Deceased, if you think some of those big epic Elseworld stories, this is right up there for sure. So highly recommend that you pick it up, and not only this, but also the original, which is already now collected in volumes. So there you go. That's my other pick.
Next up, On Guard. This is about Grace, who isn't ready for the new school year. Lots of things had happened to her. Her best friend, Ava, basically dropped her as a friend the end of the previous year. And not only that, the basically the dust is settling for her parents' messy divorce that she's going through. Things aren't really going well between her and her mom. Mother and daughter relationships that you typically see that are really close in movies, that's not what she feels with her mom. And there's just tension between the two of them. So now, Grace is ending up in a situation where she has no friends. She has no hobbies. Like band was her thing previously, but that's not something that she's doing right now. Home feels very complicated for her. And then there's this new school year that she has to face. So things aren't as
Mhm.
steady, and it isn't a good it's very difficult for her. So um this is just like a story about like her trying to find her footing as she goes into seventh grade. And she gets involved in the middle school fencing club, which she was hoping that maybe this could be her people, the new sport, meeting new people. Maybe this could be the thing where she could find even herself amongst all of the trouble that she's going through. And so, yeah, it's like um, a great coming of age story that I'm particularly excited for. Not my first fencing graphic novel, but I love reading about the sport. So yes, yeah, on my pick for this month.
And then we continue with Mafalda Book One by the amazing Kino. Um, Note, just a side note, that we do not have rights to sell this into Latin America, but we have rights to sell everywhere else. And um, this, if you don't know who Mafalda is, if you don't know who Kino is, let's start with Kino. Kino is an Argentinian icon already. He is not just the creator of Mafalda, but creator of many other characters, Gaturro, Cat, who's very funny too, and some other ones. And but since the 1960s, he's been creating a Mafalda comic strip, which started obviously in newspapers and things like that, but then uh, now it's been collected for those many years, and this is volume one of those collections. And Mafalda is a 6-year-old girl who lives in Buenos Aires, and he's hates soup, but she loves democracy, and she is very politically involved, or not involved, but opinionated. And she has so many opinions about what democracy should be, and what politics and politicians should be like. And she has this band of friends that also accompany her in showing what the world is around her, like Susanita, who's this gossipy friend, the dreamy Felipe, the young capitalist Manolito, and a rebellious Miguelito. He, you know, bring, brings a lot of humor and irony, and very mixed with very intelligent dialogues from a little girl, sort of criticizing or sort of satirizing what is happening around her. And even though it was created in the between the 1960s and 10, 20 years after that, 30 years, um, it really reflects what's still happening in not just in Argentinian society, but here and everywhere around the world. So it's think of a sort of Peanuts, but very politically, as a political satire. Uh, so and Kino, it again, it's such an iconic name. I grew up sort of because my dad was such a fan and would always read Mafalda in the newspaper in Puerto Rico. I think I grew up with her, and throughout the years, I've been able to go back and read some of Mafalda's strips. And like I said, it's amazing how they still apply. A lot of it is still very current, uh, and it, and it's a classic. It's just a big classic. That it's not well recognized in the U.S., but it's very recognized not just throughout all Latin America, but in Europe, in other places. They recognize Mafalda, and it's so iconic. If you go to Latin America, and especially Argentina, I mean, Mafalda in Argentina, she's almost like a Hello Kitty type of character. You see her on every product that you can think of. So there you go. I highly recommend this. And if you're a fan of not just comic strips in general and classic ones at that, but also love that political satire from comic strips from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and so on, I this is definitely for you. There you go.
Mhm. Oh, I'm missing a title, I think. Oh no.
Oh, do you
It's
remember what
fine.
it was?
Yes, I do. I want to shout it out really quick, even though you're not seeing it on the screen here. But SIR, I highly recommend also
Yeah.
picking up. It's basically like we have a main character named Avery who is brutally like separated from her girlfriend Nico, but they're both accepted into this academy, which might be the thing that brings them back together. But it turns out that her girlfriend Nico's extracurriculars is like far from what Avery has expected. So to it's basically this story about trying to win another chance at love, but
Hmm.
Avery would need to throw herself into this violent but captivating world of motorcycle jousting fight club,
Yeah.
which that alone should interest you to pick it up. Their club is called the Seismic Iron Clash Roulette. It's kind of like it like it's great. So um you're not seeing it on the screen, unfortunately, but I do recommend picking it up. SIR, yes.
Yeah. It was
Oops.
almost one of my picks. I read it,
Hmm.
the description. It sounds so cool.
I got it in single issues, so it's gonna come out obviously in a collected edition. So yeah.
Uh, all right.
All right.
So you should start because this is how we planned it.
Yeah, I'll start first here. The Avant-Garde Complete Collection from Boom. We have the James Tynion the fourth Batman Detective Comics, the New 52 Omnibus Volume 1. We have the Compact Comics, Batwoman Elegy by Greg Rucka. And then, not the final cover here, but this is the complete collection of. I like that we're getting these complete collections from Boom. Boom Studios, the Black Badge collection from Matt Kent. And of course, we have the Erica Schultz Blood Hunters Mean Streets.
And then some more highlights. We continue with Chronouts Library Edition by Mark Millar. And then we have Dan is Green Gables, a graphic novel by Ray Tercero. And Dazzler World Tour by Jason Liu, the miniseries that came out earlier, I believe, well, late last year, I think. And then Deceased, DC Compact Comics Edition by Tom Taylor. And from Richard Corbin, Dimwood.
And then we have this. I believe we talked about this last month, so the date got shifted here for this. Wait, am I thinking of it correctly? No, forget what I just said. The Fantastic Four Doom 2099 Omnibus. This is the Broderick cover. The next one, the Fantastic. No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, don't think of disregard what I said. I'm pretty sure that this shifted in date, but this is coming out in June. So we have the Rick Leonardi cover. You're seeing me having this crisis. And then we have this premiere Marvel collection, of course, in time for before the film. We have the Fantastic Four Solve Everything. This is Jonathan Hickman. We have the heavy vinyl complete collection from Boom, cover not final for that one. And then Iron Man Volume 1, the Spencer Ackerman, the Stark Rocks and War.
Yes. And continue with It Rhymes with Takei, George Takei, obviously from Star Trek fame, but also very big activist in this sort of memoir. Uh, and we continue with Jack Kirby's Mr. Miracle Artist Edition, obviously by Jack Kirby. Kanga Yu, Test and Tournaments by Shelley Fish. And League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Volume 1, the Absolute Edition, 2025 edition by Alan Moore. And last on this slide is Looney Tunes Catch the Wascally Wabbit by Sean Carlin.
Mhm. And then we have the Marvel 2-in-1 Omnibus Volume 1, Steve Gerber, and then we also have the DM variant cover, as you'll see here. We have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Death Ranger 1, Ryan Parrott, and then the Jed McKay Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu Volume 1, Leave Home. And of course, we can't forget the My Little Pony Back to School by various creators that you see here.
And we continue with The Nice House by the Sea, Volume 1, James Tynion the Fourth, and Nothing Special, Volume 3 by Katie Cook, and Power Rangers Prime, Volume 1 by Melissa Flores, and then we have Sins in the Asylum by Clay McLeod Chapman, and Spider-Man Legend of the Spider Clan by Kyrie Andrews.
Continuing on, we have Star Wars Battle of Jakku, Alex Segura. We have Storm Volume 1. I picked this up in single issues, so I can't wait for the collected trade paperbacks coming out. Superman Adventures Compendium 1, Paul Dini. And then we have the Superman Birthright, the DC Compacts edition, Mark Waid, of course, in time for the film that's coming out in July.
And then we have Superman the World, Dar Jurgens. Obviously, this is a collection of stories from around the world. Aside from Dan Jurgens, many other creators from around the world, too, from different countries, with stories taking the Man of Steel to those countries. So, highly recommend you check that out. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 1, Return to New York. This is the collection of the Jason Aaron, Joel Jones, Raphael Albuquerque, and others. Amazing beginning of the run. And then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 1, Return to New York Library Edition. And last of the highlights is Ultraman versus the Avengers by Kyle Higgins. And that's it for the collected editions that we're highlighting for the month of June. There's more to come. We're going to leave you with the rest of the list. Thank you so much for watching this. Like we mentioned before, we do this on a monthly basis, but also we have some other videos that you might want to check out here on our YouTube channel. We also are on Instagram, on X, Twitter, and Facebook. You can find us at PRH International Comics, but we'll leave links in the description below. And that's it for now. But like I said, don't go anywhere so you can see what else is coming out in June 2025. Take care. Bye.
Bye.